Good morning, students. So today we are going to start with our third unit, metals and non-metals. In this, today we are going to discuss about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So first of all, physical properties of metals. So all these properties we are going to explain on the basis of small activities which we can perform nicely. Okay, now first of all, where is the use of these physical properties? We find the use of physical properties for grouping our various substances. Okay, so physical properties help us in grouping the substances in various categories. Okay, so first of all, what we will do, we will take samples of a number of metals. Okay, and then in our first activity, what we will do, we will take different samples of metals and we will see their appearance. Sometimes some metals, they may have certain layer on them because of action of the atmospheric factors, so that can be removed by rubbing with sandpaper. Okay, now when we do so, then here what we have to see, we have to notice the appearance only. Okay, so how they appear? So what we will find that their surface is shining surface. They are having a particular color or shine. Okay, this thing is known as metallic luster. So very first physical property is metals possess metallic luster. Now one more thing, now we have taken small samples of the different metals. We will try to cut these metals with a sharp knife. Okay, and now we will observe what happens. If we hold a piece of sodium metal with a pair of tongues, then after drying it in a filter paper, if we try to cut it with knife after putting it on the watch glass, then we will find that it can be cut easily, but other metals cannot be cut easily. Okay, so here what we want to say, here we want to say that there is sodium as exception, otherwise other metals, they cannot be cut, so they are generally hard. Only sodium is a metal which can be cut with knife nicely, and so it is not hard, but still it is a metal. Okay, now here we have seen we have shown so many metals. You can see this is mercury, this is gold, this is iron, this is silver, this is zinc, this is copper, and this is a piece of sodium. Okay, so here only sodium is the metal which is soft, which can be cut, otherwise metals cannot be cut with knife and they are generally hard. So this is our second property. Now let us do one more activity. When we take a piece of iron, zinc or lead or copper and we place any one metal on a block of iron and strike it 4 to 5 times with a hammer, what we will observe, when we are going to hammer a particular piece of metal, then we will see that it can be drawn in the form of thin sheets. So this property of drawing a metal into thin sheets after beating with hammer is called malleability. So here which property we are talking about? We are saying that metals are malleable in nature. They are malleable. Malleability means hitting the metal with hammer and converting it into the thin sheet. Okay, this is called malleability. So what is the property here? All metals are malleable in nature. Okay, now one more property is there which is called ductility. Now see, you might have seen this aluminum foil which is used for wrapping our dinner items. Okay, so this is the property of malleability, where aluminum metal was so beaten that it gave a very thin like paper sort of thing. Okay, so this is malleability. Now if you see this, this is in the form of wire. So if a particular metal can be drawn in the form of wires, then what we will say that it shows the property of ductility. Okay, now see, iron, copper, aluminium, lead, if we will see, they all can be drawn in the form of wires. So it means these all possess the property of ductility. Okay, now one more thing we have to remember here, gold is the most ductile metal. Okay, if we take 1 gram of gold, then we can draw a 2 kilometer long wire from 1 gram of gold. So it means it is the most ductile element in the out of the known elements. Okay, now one more property is there which is called sonorous. Sonorous nature. What is sonorous nature? When we hit a particular metal, then it produces sound. So this property is called sonorous nature. So metals are sonorous in nature. Okay, now similarly, one more activity we will see now. If we take an aluminium or copper wire and clamp it with the stand, and at one end we fix a pin with the help of wax. Okay, and then we start hitting from the other end, what we will find? We will find that the copper or aluminum wire will start getting heated up from other end also, where we have just fixed the pin from where we are not heating. Okay, so heat will travel from one end where it is being heated to the other end where we are not heating, and after some time we will find that the other end is also hot. So it means heat travels through the metal. Okay, now heat has traveled, how we will see? We have fixed the pin with the help of wax. So if heat has come near wax, then wax will melt and our pin will fall down. So if our pin falls down, then it means that metals allow heat to pass through it. Okay, so they are a very good conductor of heat. Okay, so what is the property now? Metals are good conductor of heat and they have high melting point. Okay, the best conductor of heat is silver and copper, and lead and mercury, they are poor conductors of heat. Okay, now let us come to this diagram. This is a diagram where we can see the conduction of heat by a particular metal. Now see, here we have fixed, see, here we have fixed the pin with the help of wax, and we have started heating this end. Now heat will travel from this end to that end, and as soon as it reaches the wax, then wax will melt, and after melting of wax, this pin will fall. So it means heat has traveled from this end to this end, and this means that it is a good conductor of heat. Okay, now one more activity. Here we are going to see that metals are good conductor of current also or no, they can conduct electricity or no. Okay, now just like this diagram, we will set up our apparatus. Here this is a battery, here it is a bulb, and here we have taken a switch, and here we have broken the wire and we have made two ends, A and B. So if we connect A with B, then circuit completes, and if we switch on, then bulb will glow. Okay, now if we want to test a particular substance, then what we will do? We will take a piece of that substance, and that substance we will place between A and B. We will touch the substance, the rod or wire, with one end with A and other end with B, and then we will switch it on. If that substance is conducting in nature, then bulb will glow, and if the substance is insulator, then bulb will not glow. Okay, so here you can see lead is that lead pencil is used. Okay, so what is used in the lead pencil? A substance called graphite is used. So if you want to check whether graphite is a good conductor of electricity or no, then what we will do, we will sharpen our pencil from both the sides, and then what we will do, we will touch both the ends with A and B respectively, and then we will switch it on. When we switch on, bulb will glow. It means the material used in making lead pencils is conducting in nature. Okay, so here by this activity we will see whether a particular metal is conductor or no, it conducts electricity or no. So we will take different metal wires and we will connect with A and B, and then after switching it on, if bulb glows, then it means it is a good conductor. Okay, now physical properties of non-metals. Now when we talk about non-metals, whatever properties we discussed for metals, those properties are not seen in non-metals. Non-metals are non-lustrous, they are soft, they are non-conducting in nature, they do not show malleability or ductility. Okay, now there will be few exceptions, those also we are going to discuss. For non-metals, all gases are non-metals. You can remember this way, all gases are non-metals. Except gases, there are few substances which behave as non-metals, just like carbon is a non-metal, sulfur is a non-metal, iodine is a non-metal. Okay, they are not gases, but in whichever form they exist, they are non-metals. Now the non-metals are either solids or gases except bromine. Now see, bromine is a non-metal, but it is a liquid. Okay, now all metals except mercury, they exist as solids at room temperature, but mercury is the only metal which exists as liquid. So now we are discussing the exceptional cases. Mercury is a metal, but it exists in liquid state. Okay, iodine is non-metal, but it shows metallic luster. Carbon is a non-metal, but in one of its allotropic form, diamond, it is the hardest known substance, and another allotropic form is graphite, which is a good conductor of electricity. Okay, now alkali metals are so soft that they can be cut with knife. Here we have shown this is sulfur powder, yellow in color. Oxygen gas is taken in this cylinder. Bromine is in liquid state. Okay, so all these things are here. Now whatever we have discussed, you have to solve these things, these assignments on the basis of that. Okay, thank you.